Everybody, how y'all doing?
Good. Well,
I'm gonna take this off. I can't stay in one place. No, I can't sing, but I can't stay in one place either. So first off, I just wanted to thank y'all again for inviting me and asking me to get up and speak a little bit. This is a real honor. I feel truly humbled that y'all would ask me to do this, and so hopefully something will come out of my heart, something will come out of my story that will impact and change your life. Cool? So, just gonna get it out there. I'm a little nervous. We're my family, right? Just family and friends. I love that. So let me get into a little bit about my story. I was born and raised up in Texas, in the Fort Worth, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I've been there for all my life. I'm the kind of person, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do as a career. So I didn't go off to university college to try and get that university experience, to try and figure out what I was going to do, because I knew that would get me into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. I didn't want to do that. Why is my best friend calling me right now? I should answer and just be like, hey, no. So I stayed home. I stayed home with my parents, and I went to a community college, and after high school, I wanted to pursue one of my passions of martial arts. In high school, I did basketball, football, and I've always been kind of an athlete. I've got the body type for it. I've never been able to gain very much weight. Muscle mass is kind of my struggle gaining that. But after high school, I got into martial arts, got into Taekwondo, got my black belt in that, did that for 3 years consistently. Then I started doing jiu-jitsu, cross training into that. I was doing a lot of running around, you guys. I mean, I was part-time student at community college. I was part-time training with martial arts. I was working part-time at Discount Tire, and then I was part-time playing guitar at my church. So I was bouncing around all over the place. I figured I wanted to just try and build up my resume as much as I could, basically, just so I could make myself more attractive to anybody in the future, job or girlfriend or wife-wise, whatever. So that's what I did. I was first exposed to network marketing back in 2010, and that was a life insurance company, and I just fell in love with the business model. I'll be honest, I fell in love with the idea of residual income, and I went to work. I was with that company for about 6 months. I made a decent amount of money, but it was all about the money, and I've been going through all these different Joe jobs. I'm so blessed and fortunate to have an awesome sponsor, Matthew Wesley back there. He calls them Joe jobs, But in all of my jobs, I always wanted to just do something that was helping people. I don't know if you guys ever wanted that out of your work, out of your the thing that you do the most, right? You want to be able to help somebody. So changing tires, it was just a means to an end. I wasn't actually helping anybody. So this business model gave me an opportunity to help somebody. But again, with that first company, it was all about the years go by. I got into another company, one that most people haven't heard of, but it's okay, I'm not going to mention any names. That one, I was there for about 2 months, and I realized that it wasn't really going anywhere. So I was kind of burnt out on the industry, honestly. But once you've gotten bitten by the network marketing residual income bug, you're never going to forget about it, honestly. So I went through all these different internship, leadership development courses at my church and everything, and I just know that I have a big calling of God on my life, and I know that I'm here to make an impact on the world. I just want to make a difference. How many of you out there just want to make a difference, right? So, 2016, I was working at another Joe job, an electrical supply warehouse, and I was there for about 2.5 years, just not really making anybody happy or making anybody doing much good for anybody. It's just kind of another means to an end. And I just got really burnt out. I was there for 2.5 years. I was in the warehouse just picking and pulling orders and making deliveries. And I realized that life had to be more than just going to work just to pay the bills, right? Just to put more gas in your car, just go back to work just to pay more bills. Anybody ever been there? Yeah. That was me, and almost every single one of my jobs. So about 2.5 years into it, my buddy Caleb from judo, a couple of years, about 6 years ago, I got into judo. So, martial arts, Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, and now judo. I've been doing that for about 6 years now. Knew Caleb at the Fort Worth Judo Club back there, you guys, and he gave me a call. Very, highly respected Caleb. He's a black belt, and you definitely got to respect him. Especially in judo, man, he'll throw you around on the mat and he'll make you smile about it. Like, you can't even be mad whenever he does it because it's such a pretty throw. It's just like, oh my gosh! I mean, before you know it, you're just on your back. And I'm like, man, that was awesome. So I learned a lot of judo tips and tricks from that guy. But he gave me a call, and I was at work. I can tell you the aisle that I was on whenever he gave me a call, and he asked if I kept my options open. He just asked if I kept my options open when it comes to making extra money, and I told him I do. Obviously, it depends upon what it is. And he said, I totally get that. He said, I've got this ABC Primetime News investigative report. Just want to send it over to you to see if you're in the same boat that I was in whenever I first saw it. So that was gentle enough for me that I was like, okay, I can do that. That was a small enough step, right? Excuse me. I've been dealing with a little bit of congestion lately. I think the hurricane has got a whole lot of pollen up in the air and whatnot. Anyways, so he sent that over to me. It was the 6-minute version, just the ABC News report. I watched it on my way to judo class. I didn't know what the heck I just watched. It didn't click at all for me, okay? Some people it just clicks and they're like, oh my gosh, is there a way to make money with this? For me, it didn't click. I didn't know what the heck I watched. So a week goes by and he gave me a call with his sponsor on the phone, and they did a 3-way call, and he helped me to realize that was a history in the making, a news report. And so I said, well, okay, so the next best step for me, I'm open-minded enough to move forward, so the next best step for me was to order the product for myself and just see how it worked and reacted with my body. So I know that we're not always going to get a feeling, especially if you're young, and that's okay. I realize now that that's okay. About a month after I started, so I just got one bottle, was taking it the whole time, didn't really notice much. I stopped taking it, and then 2 weeks later, I noticed my body went back to feeling lethargic. So just not getting very good workout recovery, not getting very good sleep. I had to get up at 5:30 to get to work at 6. So I had to drink a couple extra cups of coffee just to wake up and focus, right? There were a lot of times that second week and that next month whenever I would wake up and I'd get there to work and I would just be like, I'd grab a piece of paper and I'd have to do like a double take on it just to kind of, wake up, like snap out of it, So that's whenever I realized that my body went back to feeling lethargic, just the way that I felt before I was taking it. And I realized, holy cow, that thing was actually making me feel better in all aspects. I was getting better sleep, getting better workout recovery. It was awesome. So there's the part where I tell the funny Yoda quote. This is hilarious. How I got to start my business about a month. So I'm in the second month of my exposure process. And how many of you guys know it's a process? Right?
It's a process.
It's a process. Give people some time. It's okay. It's okay. So Matthew, Caleb's dad, gave me a call and let me know that they were doing a meeting at their place about an hour away from my place. And first off, I didn't really want to drive that far. I was like, I know it's network marketing, I don't really want to do it again. But I was open-minded enough, and I at least, I'm the kind of guy that I want to do what I say I'm going to do. So if I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. And I told him I'll try. And here's what he said. It was in a text. He said, do or do not. There is no try. And he pinned Grandmaster Yoda. And I was like, darn you, Yoda. So I showed up, and Caleb was there, Matthew was there, his sponsors were there from San Antonio, and they did the presentation. And I saw all the check boxes. Every checkbox, a category creating product, something different from what everybody else was doing, a patented product, a natural product that was actually helping people in real situations. It was probably the testimonies that really helped me to make a decision with this. The testimonies of how this was really helping people, because again, that goes back to my calling. I want to help people, right? And then every other business thing after that fell in line. So a publicly traded company, that was a big deal for me. The income disclosure form, the timing, the corporate staff, the different types of products, the technology. I was like, okay, cool. Whenever Matt showed me the apps, back then there was a few more. Now the app is a lot better than what we had. But I was very interested in all that. So I was like, okay, awesome. I'm in, I've made my decision. By the end of the meeting, I'm gonna need that PowerPoint, and just give me just give me a month or so, and I'm gonna put money aside and I'm gonna get started. So got the pack options, and what I did, here's how I got started. I put aside, I was getting paid a weekly paycheck, and I put $75 aside from every paycheck into a savings account to get started. I literally, well, not a savings account, but I literally went to the bank and took out, $50 to $75 from every paycheck. And it was the funniest thing. While I was doing that, I was also looking up some testimonies and reading more about it, doing some research. Not everybody is going to be like me and do what they say they're going to do. Not everybody is going to be the person that actually does the research without you tapping them on the shoulder. But we are out there. You're just looking for people that are actually, open to this. You're only looking for the lookers, all right? Don't try and force anything on anybody. So I was doing all the research, learning more about it because I was excited. If I'm going to jump in, man, I'm going to jump in. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to know all about it. So my mom, here's how I got started. This is the funniest thing. By the way, just so you know, for the new people in the room, your family is not exactly your warm market. They're more like your hot market. They're either going to burn you or they're going to join you, right? And I'll get into that a little bit more. I was very fortunate to have a supportive family. So my mom, it was Father's Day of 2016, and my mom, she put me on the spot. It was so funny. It was my mom, my dad, my grandma, grandpa, and my aunt, my uncle. So 6 people besides me were all in a room, and the night was basically over. We went to go eat, and we were back at the living home. So my mom gets up, and we're just hanging out. Totally caught me by surprise. She gets up and she says, "Hey David, have you told them about that product yet?" And I was like, "Oh gosh, no." And she was like, "Well, go ahead." And I wasn't even planning on doing it. So I was like, "Okay, well," I just stood up and I told them a little bit about the testimonies, a little bit about how it works, more so just on the stories, okay? And everybody was like, "Well, geez, I want to try that." Like all 6 of them. So I said, "Well," it just kind of hit me. If you want, I'm saving up right now to get started in the business. You can't get it yet, but if you'd like, you can prepay me $50 for your first bottle, and you'll get it whenever I get started and it comes in the mail. So all of them were like, "Yeah, okay, that sounds good." And so in the next couple of days, I collected $50 from each of them, and that was an extra $300 I put on top of my $350 I was saving up, and I got started at the gold pack. So yeah, that's an idea. You can get creative. Creative financing is very common in real estate. For whatever reason, in other entrepreneurial ventures, people don't get they're not aware of creative financing. If you want to do a business venture, you can come up with the money as long as you're creative. So I like what Eric Worre said. He said, as far as people, not having the money, ask them this: if I could help you brainstorm ways to come up with the money, would you be willing to take the next step with me? Would you be willing to take a look at those options, right? So that's one of the ways that you can do it. You can tell people to pre-sell half of it, save up some of the money on their own, or maybe put half in a credit card, half of pre-sale, and half of your own money. And then before you know it, that's a platinum pack. So the options are there. It's really not as hard as people think it is, and especially as far as a business venture that can pay you millions of dollars. And some people know, as far as small business, $1,200 is nothing to start a business. We just heard a story about $150,000 down the drain. Wild. So that's a little bit about how I got started. I recommend that you go to your the people that support you most. Divide your contacts up into 3 groups. The people that are health focused, the business focused, and then the people that support you no matter what, basically. And then start with the people that support you no matter what. What I did to get to Pro 3, I got there in 2 months. I did 1 group meeting at my parents' house a week, and I was learning from Eric Worre's GoPro book, and they actually sent me over a couple of pro audios. One that really helped impact my beginning days was Seth Campbell. Look that guy up if you haven't already. You can find him in the app, by the way, over in the media section. The master tracks, there's a little search button. You can search for anybody you want, and it'll pull up some master tracks. So search for Seth Campbell. Great speaker, love that guy. And I was learning how to do the invite. So in the beginning, I had that meeting scheduled. And I call scheduling the group meeting showing up to play the game. If you don't show up to play the game in sports, you lose by default, right? But at least if you show up and you play your hardest, then that's all that matters. So just schedule a meeting. It's showing up to play the game, okay? Then in the other days, I was doing the phone calls, because I was a delivery driver. I was doing the phone calls, just letting people know that I got started in a business. I was really excited about it. If I sent you over a video about it, would you watch it? And I just did the Airbnb invite. They said yes. When would you have it watched by? Awesome. I sent it over to them, and we followed up. And on my follow-up process, I was doing the three-way calls with Matthew and a few other sponsors, a few other support team members. So that's also what I was doing, and I was also doing the one-on-ones. So this business is primarily built knee-to-knee, and voice-to-voice. Virtual, applications have made it, have blurred the lines of what it looks like to be knee-to-knee. Now you can do Zoom, anywhere around the world, and it's like we're at a virtual coffee table together. So I love that, and that's really the main way that this is built. The group meeting is a 50-50 chance that they will not show up, but you need that also. They need that social proof. The other part of it, the kneecap to kneecap, the one-on-one, you are 100, that's part of taking control of your business, staying in control of your business, like they talk about in Building Depth. So if you say, hey, I've got an idea, I'd love to run it past you, can we meet up at your place at 3 p.m.? Or hey, what I did was, I've got an idea, I want to run it past you, I'd love to take you out to lunch. I did that with my coworkers, with my friends from church, and they were like, yeah, sure. And I said, great. Well, what's the best, do you have a favorite place to eat? And I got them thinking about that. I did that because I knew that if I just, let silence ring, then they would start asking me, well, what is it? What is it? What is it? No, you don't want to get into that. Just so you know, the invite needs to be short and sweet. You don't want to start answering all the questions or, right then and there, because then it becomes an unprepared presentation. So, I forgot who said it, but don't show them anything unless you can show them everything. Okay? So, that anytime that you can get together face to face and show them the whole thing, it increases your, what do you call it? Your success rate. Your success rate, exactly. So, go do that. That's what helped get me to Pro 3. And I realized that we don't have to learn how to be Pro 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, because, looking at that $10,000 a month, that $100,000 a month is very, it's kind of like, it's a little overwhelming for a lot of people, because nobody's really, a lot of people, the majority of people have never had that type of income, right? Anybody here have ever, earned $10,000 a month, and what have you been doing? No? Hey, we got one. Awesome. 2, okay, cool. So, what if you just got to Pro 3, and then you taught other people how to get to Pro 3? Is that easy enough? Yeah. So, I like to teach my team now how to get to Pro 3, and then just go make an army of Pro 3s. That's it. So, if you make Pro 3s, then that makes you Pro 5. And then, 4 or 5 Pro 5s? I guess you're Pro 7? 5? So, I want to share with you real quick, and by the way, this thing was awesome. How many of y'all like this?
Yeah, man.
That was incredible. I was back there just burning up my iPad on notes. Let me touch base on this here really quick, and then we'll get into, you can kind of pick and poke fun at each other. So me and my buddy Izzy back there, we pick and poke fun at each other all the time. He gives me a call. He's like, hey, Cupcake. And I'm like, what's going on, Buttercup? Sorry, I had to tell him. All right, so I like to teach people, teach my team, the income-producing activities. All right, and there's 3 main income-producing activities. There are a lot of people in this industry. They almost avoid the income-producing activities for whatever reason. It's kind of like how our body craves not good things for us, right? If you haven't had that energy drink, in a long time, or a Coke in a long time, or a hamburger in a long time, your body craves it. You don't know why. Maybe it's just because it tastes good. Then afterwards you're like, oh my gosh, that's why I, avoid this. So I encourage you to spend your time where it's worthwhile. Okay, treat your time as if you were getting paid $200 an hour. Okay, that's how you get to Pro 10. That's how you get to the income that you want, the $1 million a year. And it goes back to this as well. All right. So these income-producing activities, number 1 is connecting. So you're connecting. You're connecting with people. Because at the end of the day, we are in a people business, okay? So this means reconnecting with friends, old friends, family, anybody that you know. So old friends, give them a call and just reconnect with them. Respect the relationship. I love the way that Costa Rica Dave, he talks about respecting the relationship. And for somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, give them a call and, hey, I know that we haven't talked in a while. There's a specific reason why I'm calling, so you set that precedence. But first, how's the family? You have to let them know that you care about them, okay? Obviously, everybody's probably heard the saying, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So let them feel that, and they can feel the sincerity of your heart. If you really make it about them, they can feel that. And just so you know, as soon as you get started in this business, it's no longer about you. It's about them, okay? We're in this to help people, all right? So connecting. I love this industry because it does give you a good reason to reach out to old friends. It's a connector, okay? Networking. I love reconnecting with old friends, making new friends, new family. Matthew, it's been a real honor making you as a new friend and as a new family member. So, connecting, okay? Old friends, new friends, people you haven't met yet, just connect with people. Cold market prospecting, the basic outline is to make a connection with them and then collect the decision. Yes or no, do you want to hear more about my opportunity? Whenever it comes to making extra money, do you keep your options open? Yes or no, okay? That works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. Mark Sensato, he really likes to make more of a personal connection. What are your hopes, dreams, and desires, and some of your hardships? Okay, that's a good way to make a connection. And then he solves their problem. What if I could show you a way to make some extra money so that you can actually buy that dream home that you want and not have to give up on your dreams? Would you want to find out more about that? Okay, so make a connection and then offer them a solution. Okay, that's connecting. The next one is sharing. So sharing information about the business. That's all we do. We do make sales, okay? But at the end of the day, sales for us looks like sharing. It's just sharing. Everything is already taken care of. All of the back office, the shipping, the marketing, all of this to us is just recommending a good product. That are not falling into one of these three categories, then you're probably spending it in an area that may be wasting your time, that may be not worth your time, because the majority of this business is built when you're having that conversation. Okay? So do whatever you gotta do to have that conversation. And then growing, this happens throughout the day. For some people, you could listen to a video from John Maxwell, or I do a lot of Jim Rohn. I love listening to Jim Rohn. I also do a lot of learning from people in our own company. Okay? We got a lot of incredible leaders in this company, you guys. So those are the three main things. As far as getting to Pro 3, if you just get 5 Pro 1s, that makes you Pro 3. And as you are getting those 5 teammates, if you just help the first 1 or 2 to find their 1 or 2, that makes them Pro 2. And then that makes you Pro 3. So it's very simple. Just have those group meetings and be sharing, be exposing this business to people. Get yourself to Pro 3 and teach other people how to get to Pro 3. Do you want me to erase this, or let me just leave it? Okay, you can erase it whenever you want. So guys, that's all I got. I don't want to ramble on. I hope that something I shared really impacted you and helped your business. So let's bring that Adam back on, and thank you so much.